Now, Madam President, on a completely different matter, yesterday, Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kirstjen Nielson announced she is concluding her 2+ years of service to this administration and to the American people. The men and women of DHS keep America safe on a dizzying array of fronts. They confront natural disasters, guard our coasts, defend our critical infrastructure, and maintain many of our nation's cybersecurity defenses. And of course, the pressure on the department has only been heightened as a result of the ongoing security and humanitarian crisis at the southern border. The department has to balance countless complicated missions, from defending against criminal gangs and stopping the inflow of dangerous illegal drugs, to protecting victims of human trafficking and providing care for the individuals they detain. Through all these challenges, Secretary Nielson provided experience and steady leadership. Her grasp of the issues and dedication were major assets for a department and, as a result, for our country. My colleagues and I thank her for her service, and we wish her well. Now, Madam President, this week the Senate will continue its work to move well-qualified nominees off of the executive calendar and give the American people the government they elected. And we'll do it more sensibly and efficiently thanks to last week's action to restore order to the nominations process. As we discussed extensively last week, the past 2 years have offered a record-setting display of how comprehensively a Senate minority could prevent a president from putting his team in place, extending even to the thoroughly uncontroversial nominations. Fortunately, last week we took a big step toward restoring the sort of productive nominations process that had once been the Senate's routine. And now it's time to move forward together. This week, the Senate will be able to consider a number of the president's capable nominees to positions in the executive branch and on the federal bench. We'll begin with Daniel Domenico, named to serve as U.S. District Judge for the District of Colorado. Mr. Domenico is a graduate of Georgetown University and the University of Virginia School of Law. His well-rounded legal career includes a clerkship on the 10th Circuit Court of Appeals, a term as Solicitor General of Colorado, as well as work in private practice. I would encourage each of my colleagues to join me in supporting Mr. Domenico's nomination. We'll follow it with consideration of Patrick Wyrick, nominated for the Western District of Oklahoma, and then Cheryl Stanton to be Administrator of the Labor Department's Wage and Hour Division, and then John Abizaid, General Abizaid, to be Ambassador to Saudi Arabia. And then Holly Brady and David Morales to serve as district judges in Indiana and Texas, respectively. 6 more well-qualified nominees, Madam President, 6 nominees who, between them, have passed a combined 2,364 days since the Senate received their nominations. Let me say that again. These 6 well-qualified nominees who, between them, or among them, I should say, have passed a combined 2,364 days since the Senate received their nominations. But most importantly, 6 of the many nominees who will now receive more prompt consideration here on the floor. I suggest the absence of quorum.